Hello, I'm Plod, and last time on Truly Bedrock we built the Spinnaker Tower, and in between episodes I've been busy making these bubble chutes to get me all the way to the top. All the way to the top. Yes, works every time. And of course the reason it doesn't really work every single time is these bubble chutes are not surrounded by anything, which is quite nice because they're kind of standalone things. We've done the powdered snow trick, so we've removed all the water. But the problem is it's very easy to slip outside of these two long ones. It's not so bad for these ones between the floors, although that kind of hurts a bit. But these ones going down, especially this one here, well, it's a little bit dangerous. But I'm not the only one that's been busy in this area lately. If I sidle over this way, you can see that Liara has completed our railway station. It's floating in midair a little bit at the moment, but of course we can sort that out. What I want to do is make a viaduct going all the way along here of lots of brick arches. That's why I asked Liara to use bricks up there. And of course that means I'm going to need lots of bricks. Now, over here at my trading hall, I do have a mason who will sell me some bricks. And that works pretty well. I get 2.5 stacks of bricks from him every time, and I can convert that into 40 blocks of bricks. But of course, I want to do something more because, well, if I didn't, I wouldn't be talking to you about it, would I? Basically, this is a long way of saying I want to make my mud and clay farm again. That is the farm complete, apart from a couple of things. The first of those is that under this whole bunch of blocks here, we need some dripstone, pointed dripstone just pointing down underneath, and that will turn the mud that will appear on top of here into clay. And according to my sources, there should be a massive dripstone cave over this way. Well, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but I guess it will get me started. This looks a little bit more promising, and ever so slightly dangerous. So now what I've got to do is spam all of this with dripstone. There we are. As you can see, it doesn't take long for things to start turning into clay. I have left the first couple of rows free so that if I want actual mud I can grab that, and of course the rest of it will turn into clay as things move along. Now please ignore the fact I've got 2 hotbars on the screen at the moment and my coordinates are in the middle of the screen as well. It's because I haven't updated a couple of my packs. Don't worry about it, we'll get that sorted. So I've been building up the bridge, I've been building it up on both sides, and I've been putting some granity bits in here for a little bit of texturing. So yeah, a bit of granite, bit of polished granite, and I've filled in the gaps in the middle, and it's beginning to look pretty good, I must say. I've been using my farm over here to get the bricks, and I've also been trading with my masons over in the village, and as you can see I've started putting some bricks around this farm as well. It's not going to look quite as boxy as this. I do plan to make it look a little bit more interesting, and part of the way I want to make it more interesting is not being bricks all the way up, but I'm switching to mud bricks about halfway up and coming out a little bit just to add a little bit of texture to the top. And what I really want to do is set this to be my main build palette for the rest of the base. So I really want to get this building right because it's going to set the tone for everything else. Now the thing is, in order to get these mud bricks that I want, I'm going to need lots of wheat, and I've got a bit of a wheat farm over at the industrial area, but I don't have a wheat farm over here, and it's not a very big one, the one I've got. So I want to make a bigger one. I've got loads of space over here. I might as well use it. Here we are then. I've got a nice big bit of farmland over here, and I have been planting all of my wheat seeds in it. But I have run out of wheat seeds, so I'm going to have to let this wheat grow for a little bit, and then I'll be able to get more seeds and plant the whole thing up. And of course that means I need to stay in this area for a little bit and keep the chunks loaded, so I need something else to do while I'm here, and I've got just the thing. So if I head down underneath my tower, I've got a drop chute, of course it goes all the way down. Let's get ourselves down there. And down here we've got our ice highway that goes off to our industrial area, but I've also got the beginnings of a storage system. And I was going to use this with a whole load of redstone behind it, but of course now we've got copper golems in the game. Maybe I should give them a go. Now in order to make a copper golem, I'm going to need some pumpkins, and I don't have any pumpkins, but it's okay because I think I know where I can get some. And that's over here in these chests, because these were left here for people who were going to the end. And look, there's some carved pumpkins. I was hoping to get some actual pumpkins so I can get some pumpkin seeds, but a carved pumpkin will do just fine. So back at my storage, I'm going to make myself a few copper blocks. There we go. And I'm going to place one of those down. I'm going to put it there. Pumpkin on top, and there we have our copper golem. Its copper chest. Let's give it something to sort. There you go. Have some dirt and some ice, and basically I want all of this stuff sorted out. Now I'm wondering if he's not looking in the top 2 rows of chests because he can't reach them, so maybe I need to make him a little walkway to get up there. Well, my walkway doesn't seem to have helped. Every time I lead him up there, he just comes straight back down again and goes back to the bottom row of chests. I guess I need to do a little bit more research into exactly how to make the most of this thing, but I mean, at least it's better than fiddling around with a whole load of redstone behind here. And actually the problem's really easy to solve, because if I staircase the chests, so I'll just basically make the tiers come back a little bit further, then the little guy can climb up there and get to all of them. And the plan worked while I've been doing that. My wheat has grown, or at least some of it has. And back down here, I realised how slow it was just having one copper golem doing all of that sorting, so I've made another couple. So I've got 3 copper golems doing their thing, and they are gradually sorting everything out for me. I decided I didn't really like how the building was coming along with the mud bricks, so I reverted back to just ordinary bricks. It's just an ordinary brick box at the moment, and I think what I'm going to do is get the roof on, and then we'll be able to put some detail on the walls, and then things should look a lot better. Now I was going to use deep slate for the roof, but because Liara's using tuff in her build for the railway over there, I actually really like that combination, and I think that would look better if I use tuff for the roof of my buildings too, because it will then tie in better with the bridge. The question of course is, do I have enough tuff? Well, that should be alright for at least one roof, but I'm going to need some more for the other buildings. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem because, I mean, there's a deposit of it right here. And with the roof on, I think this is looking a lot more like something we can actually work with. It's a bit more like a kind of a building rather than a blob. The roof over here I've had to make a little bit flatter just to make sure it wasn't ridiculously tall. And I'm feeling a lot more confident now that with a few doors and windows and a bit of texturing, we can make this actually look quite good. Here it is then, a bit of foliage around the place, some texturing on the walls with a bit of granite and glow lichen and various other bits and pieces, and in the ceiling some tough variants and some cobblestone, and I think that makes the whole building look really good. I'm actually really pleased with it. It's got to be said, I really do love this roof. And this building really is quite important because it's going to set the tone and the build palette for the rest of the base that I'm going to build up in this area. I say base, there's not really many farms or anything going into it, it's just going to be lots of buildings. Hello sheep. But turning our attention back to the tower, which is of course where we started the episode, I've actually built a little bit more onto the back of it because I realised I hadn't actually finished it properly. Because on the actual spinnaker tower, it comes down, you've got these two kind of curvy beams that come all the way down here. And I did have them kind of just stopping there, and they don't do that. They actually carry on each side behind the two legs there. So I'm not entirely sure I've got that exactly right, but I think it looks okay. And if I hop over to get a side view over here, you can see that we've got the angle kind of coming down here, and it does carry on down there. So I think I've got it sort of right. But of course, where we actually started the episode was talking about these bubble baiters, and as you can see, I have now enclosed them so I can drop down this drop chute pretty safely without hurting myself. And similarly, I can go up this one and be right up against the wall and not getting stuck anywhere. So that's pretty good. But since my last episode came out in August and it's now October, I really better get this episode out. It's been a long one, not because of all the playtime, but just because there's been lots of real life stuff going on. So I'm sorry it's been such a delay. Let me just tell you what I'm going to do next time. And that's because, well, this building here is great on its own, but it's not really connected to anything. So what I want to do next time is start laying out where the rest of the base is going to go. Start working out some roads and some bridges and some exciting things like that. So I will see you then. Bye now.